Hello. So, I hope you all enjoyed that nice little intro. I just thought it'd be nice to at least maybe try and I don't know, make something artsy again. It's been a while. Um, it's not the greatest, but I just kind of rushed for time right now. Something just jumped in the water. But yeah. Change of scenery. I kind of just want to make this video to tell a little story, I guess. With me just, I guess like I said in the previous video, just writing out the last couple months of the year. I just thought I'd share this little story because it's kind of the similar situation as it was when this event took place. Same scenario, same situation, but I think worse, in my opinion. But yeah, so some context before I even start. I want to tell this story to just kind of give you all a little reminder, or I guess a new perspective on just, I guess, life, where you might be in life, I guess. It certainly gave me a perspective or a reality check when it happened, because it was just it was very eye-opening. But okay, so it's 2020. It's my senior year of high school. It's during Christmas break. Christmas already happened, and it was I think 3 or 4 days before New Year's, and pretty much there's this old couple that used to live in my neighborhood. And for context, the old lady who lived in the house, a couple houses down from me, I used to see her walk, up and down the neighborhood, pretty often, because she would often go to the pawn shop near my house to get the donations from the donation box they had in the store, and she would come back with cans in her hand, sometimes stuff from the store too, or from the pawn shop too. But yeah, I'd see her walk up and down the neighborhood, say hi. Her husband would also walk up and down the neighborhood, to go to work. I forgot where he worked, but I'd always see him in his work uniform. They walked because they didn't have a car. So yeah. Yeah, and sometimes the old lady would ask me or my little brother for help, carrying stuff back to her house. Stuff from the pawn shop, stuff she found, because well, I don't know if it's bad to say this, but I think they were hoarders. I mean, because if you drive past the house, or every time I drove past it, you could see a lot of stuff on the outside in the backyard. It was just filled with stuff. So yeah, so I have we have somewhat of a relationship with these people, and especially with that old lady. She was a very sweet old lady. I feel pretty good, helping her out and stuff from time to time. So yeah. Anyway, during this time, obviously, the last half of my senior year was about to start, and during this time, it was very rough. It's senior year. You're about to start the rest of your life. You're planning your future. Your university. And for me, it was during that time when, you know, I was making a choice, looking at where I was at, what the next step was going to be. But, you know, as y'all know by now, I really don't really have a say much in decisions about my future. It's just how it is. So yeah, I wasn't confident in the idea of me going to a university, and at this point, pursuing filmmaking was not on my mind because it still was a hidden love. It still wasn't something that I was even considering because I wasn't brave enough to even try, because I just knew that it was going to be shut down by my father. He wasn't going to have that. So yeah, and so with that, I still wanted to go to university right off the bat, but I didn't think I was going to be able to because I was setting myself back with all the poor choices I made throughout high school. And that in itself is a story for another time, but I'm the one to blame for all that. It was decisions I made that halted or affected my future. So, yeah. So, basically, I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to university straight off the bat, and I wanted to. I wanted to get away from everything at this point during my life and during senior year. I did not want to do with anything with this place. Nothing. I wanted to just dip. I was in the process of literally deleting myself from, I guess, high school. I just was wanting to disappear, and being told that, hey, don't even think about it, you're gonna have to stay 2 years down here at community college where you're reminded every day of all the mistakes you made, was not very pleasant. And on top of that, I was going through things with a girl who I won't say the name of, and I won't really say specifics of what was happening because very traumatic. My close friends know why, but that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I thought life was over. I thought life was collapsing. I thought it was just the most miserable dude ever, that everything was failing, and the worst was still yet to come after what I'm about to tell y'all. But yeah. So back to the old people, this old couple. Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 days before New Year's, and I get a knock. There's a knock at my door, and there's these two people who are just like kind of like panicking, or they're just very frantic, and they're very just like, oh my god, we need help. And they told me if I know the old people who live, a couple houses down. I'm just like, yeah, like what happened? And they're like, we just need y'all. We need y'all's help. Are you the only one here? And so I get my brother, and we end up walking down the street to find, a scene I'll never forget. I'll never forget seeing that. And it was just wow. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, honestly. So we walk, all the way down, and all I see is just a bunch of stuff laying out in their front yard. Just bags, boxes, their entire life is just on their lawn, right? And prior to this day, it had rained a whole bunch, so everything was soaked. All their clothes, their photos, their food, their blankets, their pillows. I mean, like, everything they had in that house was just completely soaked. And I was just like, well, like, what happened? And those people explained to me that they had an eviction notice on their door for a while, and I hadn't drove past there in a fat minute, so like I didn't see that. And yeah, there was like this yellow paper, and they had like a certain number of days to get out. But one of the people told me like, yeah, like some people just came into their house and just threw everything out into the yard, and everything just got destroyed because of the rain. And I was just like, whoa. Like it was just, I was like, I didn't know what to do. And so what makes this story even more tragic is that the old lady is, obviously she's crying, she's hysterical, she's just like I can still hear like those cries of like help and just like helplessness. Like it's so like it's just so jarring to remember that, because hearing it was just heartbreaking. And I remember her just being like, oh my god, like, can you please help us just sort through anything that you can find to save? Because there was a cube truck, parked out. At least, I don't know, at least those guys gave them a cube truck. But I don't understand the breaking into their house and just throwing their entire life on them, on their yard, for it to get completely destroyed by some rain. But, yeah, so me and my brother are just, going through, these people's life, and just trying to find what we could save, any clothes, anything. And I said before earlier that like they were kind of hoarders, so they would kind of just be like, no, like try and save that. Or when we would try to be like, hey, we gotta throw this away, they'd be like, no. So that was also very difficult. Her husband was not crying, he was trying to keep calm for her, which was very, endearing to see. But I could tell he had just, mentally and emotionally and physically just shut down at this point. And it was just very hard. And what makes this story even more heartbreaking is the fact that I saw some new toys. There was some stuff that was brand new, but there were toys. There was like, you can tell they were new because the brand new boxes hadn't been opened. And I was like, what are these for? Because these are savable. I was like, we can save these. And the old lady had explained to me that they couldn't celebrate Christmas with, her children, because she couldn't make it. And so she had planned to get her grandchildren, who she was gonna see for the first time, those toys. And she was just crying at the fact that, they could be ruined. And it was just like so, like, I don't even know how to describe that, because it was just like I didn't know what to say, because she was like on her knees looking up at me, like saying like, can you please help me fix this? And like, ma'am, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I could do. Like I'll never be able to get that image out of my head. It is just so, I don't even know. But so time goes on, and then the people that came to get us eventually start to go because they have stuff to do. And me and my brother didn't have anything to do. We were on Christmas break. And we do the best we can. We fill up the cube truck with as much stuff as we can. And some of the stuff in there, it was sharp. There was some glass, and I got cut up a little bit on my legs and a little bit on my hands and arms. So I was bleeding a little bit and stuff like that. And we're about to wrap up, right? And this lady is, just still crying and crying and crying, and me and my brother are the only ones left there. And so there's a couple bags left, and I just tell my brother, he can go home. Like, I'll finish this. And I'll never forget this moment, because this is the moment where it hit me. So I walk up to the cube truck and I put the last bag in there. Old lady's crying on her knees in the grass of her lawn. Her husband trying to comfort her. And I'm just sitting in the back of this cube truck looking out into the road, to the street. I'm sweating, I'm covered in dust, I'm bleeding. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, for the past, like, 4 months, I was thinking that my life is over, my life is terrible, that I lost everything because the girl I like doesn't want me back, and I might never ever see her again, and I completely ruined our friendship because I never got to date this girl. And you know, I'm not going to be able to do what I want with my life, and I think I lost everything. But here are these people who literally just lost everything, just like that. And I kind of just sat there and I thought to myself, like, wow, it really can be worse. There's always someone who has it worse. And I felt like such a weakling because I was just like, I'm really complaining about all this, while this literally just happened to these people that I've known for quite a while. They lived there for a couple years. I never had felt so disappointed in myself before. It was just a very, like, slap in the face, like, wake up, bro. Like, it's not that bad. Like, you're gonna live. You still have a life. You still have, you know, a home. You have everything compared to these people right now. They have nothing. You know, I just felt like such a bum. And if you watch the last video, you know, it's kind of the same situation. You know, except this time, I was actually with the girl. And also, you know, I actually got to the university, but now I'm going to lose it because of the same reason, Dad. Or I might lose it. But, you know, it made me think about this. It made me think about that situation and that day of just like, could it really be as bad as I think? Is there still some hope left in me that can just manage to make it work out in the end, make everything I want come true? Is there something in me? Because, like I said, I mean, these past 2 months, I just don't care. You know, I don't have it in me no more. I don't care. And, you know, it just made me think about that. And after that little moment in the cube truck, the old lady tried to pay me, which isn't anything new. She's always tried to pay me in the past over, you know, just helping her move some stuff and take stuff back to her house. She always tried to give me like $1 or $5, you know. And this time she tried to give me 20, and I was just like, you know, absolutely not. Like, do not even think about giving me this money. But she would not budge. She was just like, take it, like, please just take it because you helped me, you know. And I was just like, I just can't. And her husband was looking at me because she just wasn't giving up, and he was like, just take it. And so I took it, but then I pulled the husband aside and I was just like, look, I'll put it in the mailbox and just, you know, because I knew they were going to come back because they had to like get some more stuff from the inside. They didn't take everything out, but they took pretty much almost everything. They still had some stuff in the back. Oh, in the backyard. Yeah, in the backyard. I remember. So I knew they were gonna come back, so I just put it in the little mailbox. So I'm gonna be there. So yeah, just wanted to share that, and just hopefully you guys gain a little perspective. So.